Starting a vegetarian diet can seem daunting, especially if you're used to eating meat and other animal products. However, with a little planning and knowledge, you can make the transition in a balanced and healthy way. The key is to understand how to replace the nutrients you used to get from meat with plant-based sources, ensuring that your body continues to get everything it needs to function properly. One of the first steps to adopting a balanced vegetarian diet is understanding what it means to be a vegetarian. There are different types of vegetarianism, and each has its own rules. For example, lacto-ovo vegetarians eat eggs and dairy products, but avoid meat, fish, and seafood. Vegans, on the other hand, exclude all animal products, including honey, gelatin, and even some food additives. Regardless of which type of vegetarianism you choose, the important thing is to ensure that your diet is varied and rich in nutrients. A common mistake among those starting a vegetarian diet is to focus only on what they can't eat, instead of exploring the many options that are available. A vegetarian diet can be incredibly diverse, including fruits, vegetables, greens, grains, seeds, nuts, and legumes. Not only do these foods provide a wide range of nutrients, but they also allow you to experiment with new flavors and textures. One nutrient that deserves special attention in a vegetarian diet is protein. Many people associate protein primarily with meat, but there are several plant-based sources that are rich in this nutrient. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, tofu, tempeh, quinoa, and seeds like chia and flaxseed are all excellent options. Including a variety of these foods in your daily meals helps ensure that you are getting enough protein. Additionally, combining different plant-based protein sources throughout the day can help you get all the essential amino acids that your body needs. Another important nutrient is iron. While the iron found in meat is easily absorbed by the body, plant-based iron, known as non-heme iron, is a little more difficult to absorb. To improve absorption, it is recommended to consume foods rich in vitamin C with your meals. For example, adding orange juice to your lunch or adding bell peppers and tomatoes to a salad can increase your absorption of the iron found in vegetables. Foods like spinach, kale, lentils, and beans are good sources of plant-based iron. Vitamin B12 is another nutrient that requires attention in a vegetarian diet, especially for vegans, since it is found primarily in animal products. A B12 deficiency can lead to problems like anemia and fatigue. To ensure you get enough, you can eat fortified foods like breakfast cereals and plant-based milks, or take supplements. If you are a lacto-ovo vegetarian, eggs and dairy products can also provide B12. Calcium is essential for healthy bones and teeth, and many people associate this nutrient with milk and dairy products. However, there are several plant-based sources of calcium, such as broccoli, kale, tofu made with calcium sulfate, and fortified plant-based beverages. Including these foods in your diet can help maintain adequate calcium levels. In addition to paying attention to specific nutrients, it's important to take a balanced approach to your diet as a whole. This means avoiding overconsumption of processed foods, even if you're vegetarian. Snacks, sweets, and ready-to-eat meals may be convenient, but they're often high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats. Instead, opt for whole, natural foods that provide more nutrients and health benefits. Another important tip is to plan your meals in advance. When you're first starting a vegetarian diet, it can be helpful to create a weekly menu that includes a variety of foods. Not only will this help ensure that you're getting all the nutrients you need, but it will also help you avoid the temptation to turn to less healthy options when you're in a rush. Try new recipes and explore different combinations of ingredients to keep your meals interesting and flavorful. Finally, it's important to remember that everyone is unique, and what works for one person may not work for another. If possible, consult a nutritionist for personalized guidance. A professional can help identify your specific nutritional needs and suggest dietary adjustments to ensure that you're following a balanced vegetarian diet. Now that you have a basic understanding of how to start a balanced vegetarian diet, let's dive a little deeper into some practical aspects and tips that can make this transition easier. One of the first things to consider is a gradual adaptation. For many people, giving up meat all at once can be difficult, both physically and emotionally. A gentler approach may be to gradually reduce your meat intake, starting with 1 or 2 meat-free days a week and gradually increasing. This allows your body and mind to adjust to the new way of eating. Another important thing to remember is to learn how to read food labels. Many products that appear to be vegetarian may contain animal-derived ingredients, such as gelatin, which is made from animal collagen, or cochineal, a red dye derived from insects. Familiarizing yourself with these ingredients will help you make more informed choices that are aligned with your goals. Also, be wary of processed foods that can be high in sodium, sugar, and trans fats, even if they are vegetarian. Variety is the key to a balanced vegetarian diet. Trying new foods and recipes not only makes your diet more interesting, but it also increases the chance that you'll get a wide range of nutrients. For example, if you're used to eating rice and beans, why not try quinoa or barley instead? Or, instead of your usual lettuce salad, try arugula, spinach, or watercress. These small changes can add new flavors and nutrients to your diet. One aspect that's often overlooked when adopting a vegetarian diet is hydration. Drinking enough water is essential for overall health, but it can also aid in digestion and nutrient absorption. Additionally, some plant-based foods, such as fruits and vegetables, have a high water content and can help keep you hydrated. However, it's important not to rely solely on these and make sure you're drinking water throughout the day. The issue of fats also deserves attention. While some fats are essential for health, others can be harmful if consumed in excess. Healthy sources of fat in a vegetarian diet include avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. These foods not only provide good fats, but also other important nutrients, such as vitamin E and omega-3. On the other hand, it is recommended to limit your intake of saturated and trans fats, which can increase the risk of heart disease. Another common challenge when adopting a vegetarian diet is navigating social situations, such as family dinners or gatherings with friends. Not everyone understands or supports the choice of a vegetarian diet, and this can cause discomfort. One helpful approach is to prepare in advance. If you know you will be attending an event where vegetarian options may be limited, eat something beforehand or bring a dish to share. Also, be open to explaining your choices politely, but without feeling obligated to justify your diet to everyone. Supplementation is a topic that raises many questions among those who adopt a vegetarian diet. Although it is possible to obtain most nutrients from plant sources, some, such as vitamin B12 and omega-3, may be more difficult to obtain through food alone. In these cases, supplementation can be a safe and effective option. However, it is important to consult a healthcare professional before starting to take any supplements, to ensure that you are taking the correct dosage and that there are no interactions with other medications or health conditions. The practice of cooking at home can also be a great ally in the vegetarian diet. When you prepare your own meals, you have complete control over the ingredients and can ensure that you are consuming fresh and nutritious food. In addition, cooking can be a pleasurable and relaxing activity. If you are not very experienced in the kitchen, start with simple recipes and gradually experiment. There are many online resources, such as blogs and videos, that offer easy and delicious vegetarian recipes. Finally, it is important to remember that adopting a vegetarian diet is not only a change in diet, but also a lifestyle. This can include making ethical choices, such as opting for cruelty-free products and supporting sustainable farming practices. However, it's important to find a balance that works for you without putting too much pressure on yourself. A vegetarian diet should be a positive and enriching experience, not a source of stress or guilt. In short, starting a vegetarian diet in a balanced way requires planning, knowledge, and an open-minded approach to new experiences. By paying attention to essential nutrients, exploring a variety of foods, and seeking professional guidance when necessary, you can ensure that your diet is healthy and satisfying. Remember, every little step counts, and over time, a vegetarian diet can become a natural and enjoyable part of your life.